more than 10,000 families homeless. Now the community is taking recovery into its own hands. Steph Vasson has their story.
Mayor Ricky Ramirez making his grisly rounds around town. Even in darkness, devastation is clearly visible. More than 10,000 families have become homeless in Medellin in northern Cebu. The mayor hands out blankets, more for comfort than anything else.
It's very hard. We cannot even sleep at night because we were guarding our baby, and then there's a lot of mosquito and the rains.
The people of Medellin were well prepared when Haiyan hit. Now they feel they are punished for their alertness.
I think it would also be unfair just because there are a lot of deaths that occurred in Tacloban, that focus should be on Tacloban, not on northern Cebu, which, as you can see, whatever the conditions are in Tacloban right now, it's the same here with us.
The mayor has decided to take matters into his own hands by sending people to look for food and water. A woman has managed to obtain a truck with supplies. Volunteers spend most of the night dividing them into small packages so everyone gets his share. Others are trying to get some sleep, although their stomachs are empty. These are very long nights for the people here in Medellin. They're trying to sleep in makeshift shelters, but especially knowing that they just lost their homes. This proves to be very difficult. But there's also light in this darkness. At the city hall, the only place with electricity, people are gathering to charge their mobile phones so they can inform worried family members. The mood is even cheerful and there's a great sense of togetherness. But people in Medellin are mainly happy to be alive.
Everybody's a victim, so, and the Filipino sense of humor also, so it just feels like it's one big party. If you see around, it's like we're all having a picnic here.
But despite the optimism of the people of Medellin, the mayor hopes their suffering will be taken a lot more seriously.
Let's go live now to Step, who's in Medellin. Step, any sign of improvement there?
Well, it's now the 6th day after the horrible super typhoon, and people are waking up to, you know, the damage and all the suffering that they're still going through. There's no sign of improvement at all. I'm actually joined here with the mayor, Ricky Ramirez. Thanks a lot for joining us. There's a lot of frustration here in this place because you have managed to save so many lives, but there's hardly any attention from the government right now.
Well, that's right. So far, we have received from the provincial government food provisions that's only good for 750 families, when in fact we have more than 10,000, a little more than 10,000 families affected by the super typhoon.
You think it's unfair that all the attention is now going to Tacloban?
Well, my first complaint was not that it was going to Tacloban, but there was an unfair. The distribution of relief goods was unfair, and I could say I could blame it on politics because I do not belong to the president's political party, and the neighboring towns, the other towns that are also as badly hit as my town, and which just beside my town, were receiving more. On the day after the typhoon hit us.
But this whole area, northern Cebu, seems to be not in the focus at all of the government right now. Everything is going to...
Well, if we are talking about the national government, unfortunately, until now, we still have to receive any assistance. We are relying right now on private groups, religious groups, and people from this town who have made it good, either in the city of Cebu or the city of Manila, or those that are now living outside of the country.
What are your most urgent needs? Because you can see people lying out in the open air during the night, right? They're asking for food, begging for food on the streets. What are your most urgent needs?
Well, right now, there's some food coming in, being donated by private groups. We managed to give practically all of the 10,000 families, but it was just food that was good for 2-3 days. Now we're going on our second round of giving. We're trying to give everybody. But after this, what my immediate problem is you know, we have to reconstruct and rebuild. So we badly need the assistance in the form of housing materials, construction materials, so that everybody can start rebuilding their homes, damaged homes, their homes that collapsed.
Yeah, it's still a very dire situation here in Medellin. Thank you so much for joining us, Mayor Ricky Ramirez. And it's not only here at the mainland of northern Cebu, but also small islands off the coast have hardly been reached or not have been reached at all. So a lot of concerns still here in northern Cebu.
Absolutely. Step, thanks very much for bringing us that idea of what's happening there in places outside of the main aid hubs. Let's just take you to have a look now at these photographs which we have, and they show the before and after scene of when the typhoon hit. Now, these show various locations across Leyte's provincial capital, Tacloban. The scale of devastation is clear. In the port, piers have been blown away, entire communities where thousands of people lived totally wrecked. What was once lush green is now an illustration of how far the water came. And